Hi everyone, my name is Daryl,
And I'm Nicole.
and this is our second podcast, and this is kind of a special podcast. I mean, one of the things we wanted to do was bring you Aliner news, and this is hot off the presses. So this was just released yesterday. Aliner introduced their brand new series of campers called the Aliner Amp.
And it really looks really cool.
Yeah, it does look really cool, and so you can find the actual press release on all of their social media accounts. So on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, they have information on the camper or their press release and a picture of the camper.
We're going to have the link down to the press release down below.
Yep, and we also do have the actual press release itself in the description of this video so you can see it. But basically, the intention of the amp is to be fully solar powered. So you don't have to actually find one of those crazy RV parks where everything's close together. It's got integrated state-of-the-art solar panels, 400-watt solar panels. It looks like in both of the dormers.
Well, it says on the press release that it's on the dormer.
It says on the dormer, but so let's go ahead and look at the picture of the outside of the new Aliner amp.
And so you can kind of see on the front dormer there that there's little hooks. I'm assuming that's where the solar panels are attached. On the back dormer, I can't really tell.
You can kind of see, so you can see the hooks on the front right there, and you can also see them on the back.
Yeah, so hopefully it's on both dormers.
I would assume it's on both dormers because they really want to take advantage of, all of the solar panels that they can. I'm not sure what the state-of-the-art solar panels means. I don't know if they're different kinds of solar panels, but the intention is to be able to fully power your Aliner camper.
So the only really drawback of having them on the dormer as opposed to those movable solar panels that you can hook up to your little solar outlet on your regular Aliner, those you could move around to a sunny spot.
Yeah.
So with this, you would need to have your camper in a sunny spot
Yep.
in order to fully take advantage of the solar power.
Yep.
So I don't know if that's a drawback if you're like camping in a lot of woody areas.
Yeah.
You might not have full sun. It might be easier to move those panels.
Yep.
I don't know how removable those panels will be off of the dormers.
Probably not.
They're probably not removable.
Yep.
So that's kind of a draw. It's nice to have them integrated, but
Yep.
it's also kind of a drawback because you're going to need to park somewhere where it's sunny. So
Yeah,
that they
and
take
I don't know,
advantage
maybe
of it.
they have the option of also being able to have external solar panels that you can plug into the system so that you can move them into the sun. So we'll see, we don't have all the details of this new camper and whether or not you're going to be able to add solar panels like to the outside that you can move around, but it is nice that you don't have to worry about carrying them, yeah, because you've got them integrated into the dormers. And we've seen owners previously that actually added solar panels to the dormers, but it was kind of just a do-it-yourself kind of solution. And the extra weight onto the dormers probably wasn't ideal, and I would imagine that they've done some things to account for that extra weight of the solar panels on top of the dormers. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
One of the things that you're going to notice, which is kind of cool because it's going to take some of the weight off the tongue, is you don't have the battery on the tongue of the camper. So we have a RAV4 Prime, and we have our inverter actually built in the Prime, and it allows us to go anywhere. We don't have to rely on RV parks and the electrical infrastructure, so it's really great that Aliner is introducing this product to be able to basically do something similar.
Yeah. I mean, it's really nice to have power wherever you go and not be subjected to one of those RV parks where it's more like a parking lot, just so you can have power.
Okay. So let's go ahead and take a look at the layout inside the camper, and we'll talk about that just real quickly.
So it looks kind of like it's the 15-foot box on the inside. It's a little bit wider than longer than our classic. You can see that there's a nice countertop next to the stove microwave. It's not really clear on here, but it looks like the stove is an induction stove according to the press release, and then the microwave might be underneath the stove. So it's not really clear from the picture of the layout exactly where this microwave is. And then you have your refrigerator next to it, which is really nice. Other than that, it looks like the standard dinette that converts, the same hidden shower from the Evolution,
Yep.
the sofa bed that converts to a double bed,
A queen size bed, probably.
a queen size bed, and then you have your cassette toilet.
Yep. And so when I talked about the batteries not actually being on the tongue of the camper, so now they're basically using lithium ion, a lithium ion battery. It looks like it's a 5 kilowatt per hour lithium ion battery, and it uses the EcoFlow power hub. And from what I understand, you can expand the batteries. You can expand it to 15 kilowatt per hours by adding 2 additional batteries to the system to allow you to even get further off grid and to stay off, off that grid for a longer time.
And that'll also probably help with the fact that you might have shade in your spot.
Yep, exactly. And so I'm assuming that you would probably get a full charge when you're at home before you go camping. And depending on how long your intention is to stay off grid, you might want to upgrade your camper. And I'm assuming Aliner will have options for, fully fully charging your Aliner with additional batteries. So you could probably order 2 additional batteries from Aliner. So that would be really cool.
It's also not clear on if it charges while you're driving to your location. So if the solar panels are mounted on the top, I mean, it'd be interesting to see if it'll charge while you're driving.
Wow, that would be cool.
That would be really cool, because most of the time when you're driving, you would be in sun.
Yeah, so you could really
So
charge it up.
be charged up as you're going to your location.
Yeah, that's cool.
So,
or as you move from location to location. So you're probably going to be fully charged, when you get there. But a lot of times, the benefits of, of having the Aliner, just because it's so easy to pop up and move around, takes you like 15, 20 minutes to move. So if you do go to another location and you kind of used all your battery,
so
as you're driving.
Aliner reps, if you're watching this, this might be a suggestion. Make sure that thing charges while you're driving.
Yeah. So Aliner has really been innovating over the last couple of years. So they came out with their Evolution model, first the 15-foot box with that hidden shower and the cassette toilet, and then the 12-foot box. And now they're coming up with this brand new series, which is the Aliner Amp, which I think is really great, because I think a lot of people are really looking to get off grid, and they're making this camper with a lot of sustainable products. And so one of Aliner's goals is to be, as much as possible, very sustainable, to use the power of the sun, the solar power, to power your camping adventures, as opposed to having to, plug in all the time. So it'll be interesting to see all the different appliances that are in this new unit. And it might actually make the Aliner a lot more comfortable to be in. So supposedly just with the 5 kilowatt per hour battery, you're supposedly able to power everything within the Aliner, all of the appliances, the environmental solutions for keeping it cool or keeping it warm. But you can add on to that, maybe to stay off grid a little bit longer. But yeah, I can't wait to see the details on the different appliances, if they've made some changes in regards to the heat pump, and what kind of induction. And it looks like the microwave is going to be included in this one.
We really use our microwave a lot.
We love our microwave.
Love the microwave. Couldn't imagine camping without a microwave.
Yeah. So I did reach out to Aliner, because one of our last podcast was on the twin beds, and I asked them if there was going to be twin beds as an option in this model, and they kind of said maybe in the future, but not initially. So it'll be interesting to see, kind of this amp series and what happens to it.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of folks that have been really waiting for this lithium-powered batteries and this EcoFlow solution, which is kind of an industry standard. So you can, I'm assuming they're going to have all sorts of meters inside of the Aliner, so you can see exactly where your battery usage is at. Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. I can't wait to see this camper.
It's going to be really cool to see. Too bad we don't have an Aliner dealership nearby
Yeah.
where we could go and see it
Yep.
in person.
But I just got an email from Brett Randall this morning. He was asking about dealers in Las Vegas. So, yeah, so maybe sometime soon, Aliner is going to be starting to work with some dealers here locally. So maybe we can see them.
Yeah,
as
that would
opposed to
be-
having to drive 5 hours to see
Yeah.
Aliners.
Because our closest Aliner dealer is about 5 hours away.
5 hours away, yeah. So that pretty much wraps it up.
Yep.
Aliner still hasn't announced when exactly this is going to be available at dealerships. I know they're really working hard to get the press release out and to get the pictures out and the layout. But I would assume it's probably going to be coming out next year.
Yeah, that'll be exciting.
Yeah, stay tuned for Aliner announcements on when this will actually be available and when you can actually see it in person. But yeah, we can't wait.
Yeah, we're very excited.
Yeah. So until the next podcast.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. And consider subscribing to our channel as well as liking this video. And we'll see you on the next one.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago.